This video will not be discussing any of the leaked spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2. It will, however, spoil major plot points from the original game, so if you have not yet completed the first game, please do so before watching the remainder of this video. And before you ask, yes, I have seen the spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2, and yes, I'm still excited to play the final game, so sue me. The Last of Us Part 2 is mere weeks away at this point, and many people are excited to finally get to play the second chapter in Joel and Ellie's story. However, for all the people looking forward to playing The Last of Us Part 2, there are just as many people who seem to want the game to fail and for Naughty Dog to go bankrupt. There are two main reasons for this. One reason is because of the leaks that ended up spoiling several of the story's pivotal plot points. For obvious reasons, I will not be talking about these plot points in the video. The second reason, however, is that many people have started to claim that The Last of Us Part 2 is woke, and that the game was designed to simply pander to women, gay people, and transsexuals. I strongly disagree with this idea, and throughout this video, I intend to give several reasons as to why I feel the way I do. Firstly, I think it's important for everyone to understand what the word woke actually means. What started out as a term used to describe being aware of injustices in our society has been warped into a different beast entirely. The word woke is so frequently thrown around these days that the term has lost all fucking meaning. Any film, TV show, or video game released today that is even vaguely politically correct will be labelled by several people as being woke. Female superhero? Woke. Gay characters? Woke. Female protagonist in a video game? Oh, you better believe that's woke. What's funny is that all these things have existed in media for decades, yet it's only now that people are starting to have a problem with it. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes people can take political correctness too far, to the point of simply being patronising. I know several women who rolled their eyes so fucking hard during this scene in Avengers Endgame. And even I thought the Ghostbusters reboot with an all-female cast was a stupid idea. But that's the thing, The Last of Us is not patronising, nor does it pander to minority groups. Yes, the games do feature gay characters, but representation by itself does not equal political correctness or wokeness. Gay people exist in the real world, believe it or not. The Last of Us handles sexuality in a very respectful manner. It doesn't shove it in your face. Take Bill from the first game, for example. Did you know Bill is gay? A lot of you probably do know that, but I can guarantee you that a lot of people didn't pick up on it during their first playthrough. That's because Bill doesn't come across as your typical gay character. He's tough, vulgar, and has a temper. Almost like he's a normal person or something. Imagine it, a gay person being normal. It's crazy, I tell you. Bill has a boyfriend during the events of the first game. However, when you finally find him hanging from a ceiling, Bill does not refer to him as his boyfriend, nor does he refer to him as his lover or fuck buddy. He simply refers to him as his partner. Partner, a word that can be used to describe two people who are in a relationship, but a word that can also be used to describe a person you work with or a person you live with. Now don't get me wrong, it's obvious that Bill and this man were in a relationship, but it's still handled in a subtle, respectful manner. It's not the most important thing in the world that Bill is gay, and so the game does not treat it like it's the most important thing in the world. A surprising amount of people seem shocked that Ellie is gay in The Last of Us Part 2, which is funny because the DLC for the original game features a scene where she kisses another girl. Did none of you even play that DLC? It's good, you should check it out. While it might seem like Naughty Dog are pandering to gay people by making Ellie a lesbian, it actually makes a lot of sense within the game's story. Ellie lives in a very different world from you and me in the first game. There aren't a huge amount of kids her own age around, and she probably did not have a lot of friends growing up. So when she finally finds someone her own age who she likes, it's almost inevitable that she would begin to have feelings for her. Also, I don't understand this idea that just because Ellie is gay, all of a sudden The Last of Us Part 2 is a woke game. If it was a woke game, Ellie would be portrayed as a hero, A flawless human being who would never wrong another person. After all, she's a gay woman, so that must automatically mean she's perfect and that it's the rest of the world that is wrong, right? Ellie is a fucking monster in The Last of Us Part 2. She is no hero. She is a bad person. A bad person who we root for, but a bad person nonetheless. She viciously kills everyone in her path in some of the most brutal ways imaginable.
Alright, calm down.
Surely if Naughty Dog wanted to positively represent gay people, they would not have chosen a character like Ellie to do so. If anything, the developers of The Last of Us Part 2 are trying to show us that regardless of your sexuality, gender, or race, we are all human beings at the end of the day, and we all have flaws. And that's refreshing to see from a video game made in 2020. At the end of the day, this whole idea that The Last of Us is woke is complete nonsense. Oh my god, you guys, The Last of Us is so fucking woke. Remember that part in the first game where Joel shoots that unarmed black woman's face off? The Last of Us Part 2 is so fucking woke. Remember when Ellie stabbed that Asian woman in the throat and she flopped around on the ground gasping for air? So woke, you guys. So woke. Remember when Tess gets infected and brutally murdered by hunters? That part was so woke. Remember in the first game when the black kid turns into a zombie and his brother has to kill him, but then he's so distraught that he blows his own brains out? Doesn't get much more woke than that.
Henry! Henry, no!
Actually, you guys, I didn't realize this before I started making this video, but I think The Last of Us is actually a bit racist. At the end of the day, everyone is going to have a different opinion of what woke means, but I don't believe The Last of Us has ever deserved to be labelled as such a thing. It has always strived to tell a gritty, grounded story, and I don't see the second game being any different. Of course, I could be wrong. Maybe the second game releases and is absolute woke garbage, but I'd simply ask that you check out the game for yourselves before coming to that conclusion. Thanks for watching my video, regardless of whether you agreed with my points or not.